Hey there guys, this is Flamesaron, aka YouTube's Toscan. This is the 22nd episode of the Wheneverly Update. I know I'm kind of cranking this one out pretty early, but I just felt like, telling you guys what I've been up to. And I know that not everyone reads my blog. It would be a good idea if you did, though, considering that, it's more up to date, and it's more up to date for that time when the Wheneverly Updates are sort of just like what I've been doing, sort of bunched up together. So if you want to know what I'm doing, like, exactly that moment, you should probably read my blog, which I'll put a link to in the description like I always do. I'm going to keep doing that till you guys read my blog. Nah. But yeah, I've just been doing things. I read volume 30 of Negi Mud. It actually came out a lot sooner than I expected. I actually kind of don't remember too much about it because I read it so quickly. I've gotten to where I read manga really quickly. And whatnot. It was pretty good though. Negi finally got control of himself, and they escaped from Kurt, I think his name was, and they were getting ready to sort of run away from the bad guys. I'm assuming they're about to leave the magical world, and another arc is probably about to set up or something like that. They're probably gonna have like one more. Negi's probably gonna have one last showdown with Fate, who we've now figured out what his power is, which kinda dumb. He's got himself a little cheap power, That's kind of the one thing I don't like about Fate. He's just so overly powerful. I don't really like that, how he's just like so powerful, and I really hope that like Negi eventually just kills him or something, or like just beats the crap out of him, and then it's like, finish me, Negi. He's like, no, I'm not gonna finish you, little shithead, or something like that. But, another comic I got was an old, actually an American comic, or I guess Canadian, Courtney Crumrin and the Night Things. It's an old comic book that I saw at the mall many, many years ago, and I finally decided to look it up. I don't know exactly what happened. I think I heard Emily the Strange mentioned in, like, a post or something. I was like, wait a second, that sounds kind of familiar. So I looked and was like, oh, no, never mind, it's not. So I decided to look for this comic, and I described it on a message board, tried Tale Series forums, tried Advanced Anime, then tried Voice Acting Alliance. And Advanced Anime was the first place to get in. Voice Acting Alliance gave me the same answer, and Tale Series forum gave me no friggin' answer. Or I think they did at some point. I can't remember. But then I checked, and it turned out it was this book, and I bought it off of Amazon. I understand that it's actually a series. I don't know if it's continuous right now or not, or I guess continuing, but whatevs. Looks pretty good so far. I mean, I've read some of it. I kind of like how it's sort of, it's almost like it's kind of set up like a novel with pictures. Not like a picture book, like a novel with pictures, almost. Just the way things are being said, and, kind of interesting stuff. I'm going to keep reading it, and I'll probably give you guys more info on what I think of this whole thing. But, yeah. And if I like this one, maybe I'll get the others. I don't really know how that's going to work, but, Other than that, I did play some new MMOs. For one thing, the Dragon Nest open beta started up, and I played that. It was pretty good. I can't help but get a whatchamacallit, Terra feel to it. Even I know that game's not even out yet, but I feel like it plays kind of similar. It's not bad. I was disappointed that there wasn't any red hair, so I kind of just made it sort of like a test character, just to sort of see what you could do, because I'm assuming or I don't know. I mean, I'm not sure if they're going to do character wipes. I hope they do, because then I don't have to, make a new character and then delete this one. Excuse me. Sorry, it's like 11. Of course, that doesn't matter to you people. People stay up till, like, forever doing these long videos that take forever. But, it was pretty fun. It actually seems pretty fun. It's like an anime style, action game. So if you want to play this, play it. And actually has classes too, which I was glad. I'm glad that there wasn't like a like a thing where like you choose a character, or like they're, I don't know. I just feel like the action MMOs have like sort of lackluster customization. I feel like there's no real MMO that has both. And if the one isn't made, then I'll probably make one myself. But since World of Warcraft was announced to be free to play up to level 20, I did try to play a little bit of it. Got kind of tired of it. I started off as a warrior, but then I decided to switch to a paladin just because I figured, okay, I should probably use a class that I can heal because, these kind of games you do a lot of stuff solo. Ugh. And then I uninstalled. It's okay. I mean, it's just nothing new. I still don't see why it's so friggin' popular. I've heard that Dungeon Fighter Online is actually more popular than WoW in the long scale things, which personally I hope, because Dungeon Fighter Online, that game's at least different. That game actually has something to go for it. It plays like an old style beat 'em up, while World of Warcraft is just a friggin' brand name kind of thing. Like, it's literally an MMO version of Warcraft, and it's really nothing new in terms to. You guys can bash on me about that, but bottom line, if you want to play an MMO and you're trying to choose between EverQuest 2, Perfect World, or World of Warcraft, you could go either way. It really depends on what kind of a world you want to immerse yourself into. As far as regular games go, I have been playing a little bit of Pokemon Fire Red. I got to the Elite Four, and I'm trying to sort of. I was about to do Victory Road. I kind of don't like how it's a little cave. I'd rather it just be like a little pillar thing. At this point, I'm just kind of trying to get this game done. Ugh. This is the first time I've actually ever beaten a first generation Pokemon game. The first game, I didn't beat a Pokemon game until Silver came out, which I guess you can't. Which I guess isn't necessarily a bad thing, because I mean that's only like it's basically Pokemon 2 in a way, and plus I enjoy the heck out of Silver. Still need to finish Soul Silver at some point. But that's currently what's in my DS, because my Game Boy Advance kind of has a sticky button that doesn't really work very well. But I've also been playing Radiant Mythology 3 still. Just trying to, get that. I'm trying to get all the characters, and currently I'm working on getting Persea right now. I only have 2 more, which is Cheeria and Anis, and for some reason, Jade and Asbel really don't want me to get them, because I haven't said a thing, and I was like, what is your problem? Like, did I miss my chance, or are they secret characters that, like, show up at, like, the end with the other 2 Kanonos? Like, what's the deal? I really want to get these characters. But if it's one of those things where you miss your chance, I'm just going to be like, really? It's bad enough that you don't get every character through the story. I feel like that's sort of dumb. I wouldn't mind playing the game for an extra hour of having an extra hour of story so I could have all the characters available through the story, That's fine with me. But no, instead they're going to make you hunt for them all by doing stupid character quests. And not the kind like in Legendia. But, Yeah, that's pretty much all I've done on the gaming front. I have been watching some anime. I can't remember what I had finished last, but I started watching Asterolets Toy or something, I think it's called. Pretty good. I actually enjoyed it. I kind of couldn't. I got like sort of like a Disney sort of fairy tale sort of feel for it. Pretty interesting show. The only thing I didn't really like about it was that, the show kind of showed the main guy's daughter, because the main guy, although he looks like he's like 18 or so, he's like 22, I think. His daughter has the mind of like a 13 or 14-year-old. She's a little too mature for her own good, and she constantly goes around saying she's not wearing underwear, and it's like, what is your problem? It makes me wonder, what the deal is with these Japanese kids, because some of these shows actually air on TV and are considered kids shows. Like Dragon Ball Z is considered a kids show, which isn't necessarily as bad. I'm more concerned about the swearing that goes on in that show. You know. But not bad of a show. My only other problem was like some sort of family ties that goes on with the main character and the main girl, because when you look at it, I'm not going to spoil anything for those of you who are going to watch it or are currently watching it, but the way the show is sort of set up, it makes it sound like it kind of sets up to where the lead character and the lead girl, like the lead guy and the lead girl, are like related. Like, technically, the lead guy is the lead girl's stepdad, or something like that. It's just weird. I feel like, they almost try to send them up as like a couple or something. It's like, that just doesn't, that's just so odd. It's pretty short. It's not. Yeah, my favorite character was Zelda. I liked her because I liked her uniform, and I liked how she used a sword. She was pretty cool. And Yuko Minaguchi, who we all know as Farah from Eternia, did a voice in it, which I couldn't actually tell at first. But, pretty nice show, I guess. Afterwards, I started watching another show which is currently running, Hana Saku Ihora. I think that's Hana Saku Ihora, I think it's called, or, It's okay. I don't think I'm going to watch it, because it's just not interesting. I just don't care enough about, this thing to watch it. The only thing it has going for it is, for me at least, Kanae Ito, who we know as the Radiant Mythology 2 Kanona, who happens to be one of my all-time favorite female voice actresses, does the lead girl. And then Aki Toyosaki, who did Yui from K-On!, does another character. And then there's this one awesome character who speaks English, like perfect English. It's so funny. It's like, wow. It's like her accent's like gone too when she talks. You can tell it's the same person, but but other than that, the show has like not much for me, It's just kind of boring and stupid. So I think I'm actually gonna stop watching it just because I don't care about it, and like a lot of the characters are like bipolar and don't really make sense. So I'm just like, yeah, whatever, this show's stupid. I'm just not gonna watch it. Another show I started watching was kind of a cool one. A Dark Rabbit Has 7 Lives. That's what Crunchyroll is calling it. And yes, I did watch all these shows on Crunchyroll. It was pretty cool, I got a bit of a Fate Stay Night feel from it. It's about vampires, and it's pretty interesting. One of my favorite... Nah, I won't spoil anything, but it's funny. And I showed AJ it too, because he and I were hanging out. Pretty, funny show. This might be a 2-parter, so I'm going to try and wrap this up. Pretty good show, not going to lie. I'd recommend it. It's like Fate Stay Night, sort of. It's kind of got a little bit of a horror kind of thing to it. Another one I watched was R15, which is probably the weirdest show ever. It's about a school where the students there are like quote-unquote geniuses at what they do. Like the lead girl's a lead musician and plays like clarinet. One of the girls a lead singer. Of course, we realize that she wants to be something else afterwards. And then one girl who's like, I think, a lesbian. She's really good with technology, and she types really fast. One girl's like the obvious doctor who shows up. Yeah, we're actually cutting whatever. And then the lead character is actually a genius novelist. What does he write? Porn. And he works with the photographer lady, who she's one of those characters who doesn't wear their uniform. She just wears like a button shirt and pants, which I feel like, isn't that going against the rules? I mean, or whatever. But it's pretty weird. This guy's like fantasies, and he has this problem where whenever he gets his fantasies, he has to like write out the story. Really weird show. I don't know how long it's gonna last, but I feel like that this show's gonna kind of pull something where it's gonna try to do like a yeah, we're past the limit already.